I think if she could have picked up her long foot and wrapped it around him, she would have done that.
Please don't forget to subscribe.
The gate-crashing ex-royals strike again. And by strike, I mean that Meghan Markle actually uses her claw this time to strike an unsuspecting official of the Kevin Costner concert. Let's investigate on this episode of Leilani of Barbados Sherlock Holmes Investigation Bureau of the World. Let's get into it. So Kevin Costner puts on his annual concert, the 805 Live. 805 refers to the area code of Santa Barbara. And this charity event is put on to aid the first responders. And we're going to talk about the show in a bit. But before... Okay. Oh, wait. And I guess you can see here from this slide that neither Archwell, the Duchess of Sussex, the Duke of Sussex, Sussex Royal website as ever, nothing affiliated with the Harkles is sponsoring this show. Just saying, before the concert even starts, there is an incident. Now, what we have gathered from our investigations is that this young lady seen here was sent over to inform the dastardly duo that Meghan Markle would not be allowed to hold the mic and make any speeches on stage. And you see where Meghan Markle's mask slips. And you can see that Harry's face also drops. What did she say? So the young lady is saying something like, "I'm sorry, Meghan, I don't know what happened, but apparently you're not allowed to have the mic." And Meghan seems to tilt her head and say something like, "Oh, I wasn't even thinking about making any speeches anyway, so that's fine. Thank you so much for that advice, though." And then she strikes with her claw. She hits the woman about her body in an aggressive manner. Meghan actually transfers her handbag from one hand to another so that she has a free hand closest to the victim to smack her. And as the lady turns away, her mask also slips. She's like, "Okay, great." And Meghan, in a desperate plea for support from Harry, grabs for his hand, which she never seems to find this time. And so Harry just grabs for Meghan's back instead. It's almost like she grabs for Harry because she knows she's done something wrong and she's cooked. And that's why she should never be in the royal family, because she would keep wanting the royal family to support her bad behavior. Meghan really needs to learn how to keep her hands to herself is the bottom line of all this. Imagine that she has lied and grifted off the royal family for so long and it could all be gone in one lawsuit like this. And speaking of lawsuit, it's only a matter of time before all of these staff start talking about what Meghan Markle has done to them. When you think that Meghan has, in this very short moment, premeditated an attack on a woman who was just trying to retreat to safety after delivering some kind of message to her that Meghan didn't like, you have to wonder what Meghan has done to staff from the UK across the pond to the United States that made all of her staff quit on her. I'd be very interested to know, what is really wrong with Meghan Markle? She can't be taken anywhere. Don't take her anywhere. This is why last year she wasn't included in this concert. Only Harry went solo, and she's back with her shenanigans. Now, of course, it is obviously reasonable that she wouldn't have gone last year because the year before, in 2023, she ruined the whole concert with her weird behavior, her trying to grab the mic, her after even that incident acting erratic and talking to herself or talking out into the void. It was so cringe and so awful, and it really took over all the press for this good cause. So you have to imagine why in 2024, Kevin Costner was like, please, sit her out. But somehow she got back, and that is why it is a surprise appearance, because she really wasn't supposed to be there. She's gate crashed once again. It begs the question, is this the reason why Harry was so hell-bent on having royal security? Is it because he wanted to just show up at places with Meghan that she was not invited to, but they'd have this royal security? I don't know if they thought they'd have the Grenadier Guards coming in there with them, just flanked on either side. Hello, we're here. It's a disaster anytime she shows up. Of course, People magazine decided to do a puff piece on it and make it look like everything's fine and Meghan and Harry have really appeared since, very importantly, the reconciliation with his father. They had to link this appearance, which has nothing to do with King Charles, with the meeting, the private meeting that Harry had with King Charles, which we all knew was for 30 seconds, right? Even mentioning that Prince Harry says he's closer to taking Archie and Lily Butterfaces to the UK after reunion with King Charles. No one asked. And why are you closer? Just go. Get on a plane and go like you always go. But they had to put that in there. They had to put in that Meghan was so respectful this time. That Meghan, she wasn't though, by the way, she wasn't. And that he is a this and a that and a warrior and all these kind of things. The Duchess of Sussex briefly joined her husband on stage at the benefit concert before giving him a quick hug and then watching him from the side of the stage as Harry presented an award to Santa Barbara County Fire Chief Mark Hartwig. Not true. She was on stage the majority of the time. But once again, Meghan has managed to overshadow the event. And we at the Leilani Sherlock Holmes Bureau of Investigations Academy is looking into this incident, and we will keep you updated. But I also want to hear your opinions down in the comments. How do you feel about this? How would you feel if you were this young lady turning up to work for a volunteer? She's probably volunteering. This is a charity concert. How would you feel if you volunteered somewhere and you had to do something, and then right before you retreat into the safety of your staff room or whatever, this woman just smacks you sideways? How would you feel about that? Would you feel assaulted? Would you feel harassed? Would you feel... These are all of these kind of words that would be used in the court of law. But I'm just saying, do you think that Meghan has a problem? That she cannot control her own anger? I remember that she had said that Harry has anger management issues. I believe now from seeing several red carpets where she has behaved erratically, not able to keep her hands to herself, I honestly believe that this was a projection on him. She's real crazy. That's one thing that's real about her, is that she's really crazy. Now let's get into the concert that Meghan Markle invaded. The concert supports Santa Barbara County's first responders. The concert featured Trisha Yearwood, Good Charlotte, The Fray, and more. The organization's flagship event took place at Kevin Costner's Oceanside estate in Summerland, and there are around 3,000 to 4,000 guests. The attire is supposed to be country western, casual, fun, and the concert's mission is to equip our first responders with much needed resources and prepare our community for emergencies, is what they say. Now, this year in 2025, Meghan Markle was allowed on the stage, and she clung to Harry in lieu of trying to grab mics, which she knew she couldn't do. She grabbed onto Harry and held on to him. I think if she could have picked up her long foot and wrapped it around him, she would have done that. But with both hands, she clung onto him like she wanted to drag him into an invisible trapdoor on that stage. She's desperate for attention. It's crazy. She can't let him have his moment. She's done several things alone where she's had her own moment, but she cannot let this man be. They both looked rough. I mean to say, Harry's face looks bloated like a blowfish. In contrast, in stark contrast, as they say, to Meghan's skinny foots. Some may call it in medical terms the ostritis footus. I mean, just her face. I don't know if it's anger or if it's like aggression or what, but her face looked very stressed and aged. They were not dressed in theme, and Meghan Markle still does not own an iron. Now, I bought this magazine to show you all something. There are rumors that Prince Harry is trying to do a documentary on the death of his mother, Princess Diana, and there's a lot of backlash about that. But while I was about to prepare to talk about that, which I will talk about that, here comes Kevin Costner, okay, who is now dating a woman who looks exactly like his ex-wife. And this is significant because this year he's dating what they call the twin of his ex-wife. I mean, the man is just always being talked about for his relationships, and it's always around the time of this concert. So it's not as though he needs Meghan Markle to come now and distract the public from the concert even more than he does, okay? Another controversy that follows him every time he has his concert is that some people are of the opinion that these celebrities and these charities really are donating to the first responders so that their houses are protected during these fires. There have always been these rumors that, oh, everything else was burning down around except the celebrity houses because the first responders were there first, saving the celebrity houses. But I did check it out and it is debunked. No, the claim that celebrities donate to firefighter charities in exchange for their house being saved first is unfounded. Public firefighters are obligated to follow protocols based on immediate risk, not on who has donated money. The origin of this misconception likely stems from a practice used by some wealthy individuals of hiring private firefighting companies. So that is debunked. And you have here all the evidence why it is debunked. But I just want to say, I think this concert is a great idea. I am very sad that Meghan Markle and Harry keep crashing anything. It's really disrespectful. It's also very embarrassing to the royal family, especially when they get people to put out puff pieces mentioning the king at the same time. And when they show up, they don't just show up with their two long hands because they give nothing to nobody's charity. They also bring along their photographer, Clint Brewer, and Backgrid, and People magazine to say how wonderful they are. At what point do you say to yourself, self, no one else is doing this. No one else has to cope and overcompensate so much for nobody liking them, except us. Why don't we just go somewhere and sit down for a moment? They won't sit down. Anyway, thank you all so much for sitting down with me. I love you all so much. I won't keep my hands to myself. Big hugs. Love you. And you know that. Bye. Bye-bye.